I think we just go for this card. Gives us a full board of minions, and this is a really lucky one. Like, we got all of the best 5-cost minions off of this one, but I just have a massive board. Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Maestro, and we're here with a quick deck overview of the new Cabaret Shaman, also maybe known as Rainbow Shaman. But the idea of this deck is to play a lot of different spell schools, activate cards like the Razzle-Dazzler, which basically can create a really wide board of minions for each spell school we've cast. And we have cards like the Tourist Shaman minion Carefree Cookie. This lets us put Demon Hunter cards in our deck. And so we can get different fell spells like the Sigil of Skydiving. And this will help us give us more spell schools that we've used. Even within Shaman, there's a lot of different spell schools. So just for example, we have like the Fire spell, Malted Magma, the Shadow spell, Incredible Value, Nature spells, these are pretty standard. As well as the new Frost spell, Frosty Decor. Oh, we also have Drink Server, which gives us a random drink spell, and so this could get us, the spell from another class, which will have a different spell school. But basically, the idea of this deck is to try in the early and middle game to just control the board through all like these Malted Magma or different drinks from the drink server or Baking Soda Volcano, Aftershocks. We have a lot of controlling cards in the early and middle game. And while we're controlling, we're playing all these different spell schools. So hopefully by the time we get to turn 7, we're going to have a really nice Razzle-Dazzler. And this is the big kind of like, this is the big money card that this deck is built around basically. And so it's really important that we somehow get this card and we create that really wide board, which is pretty strong. Usually wins us the game or wins us the game very soon, if not immediately. And there's different ways that we can tutor this card. We have like Tail and Fordring, which will draw it, as well as the Fairy Tale Forests, because Razzle-Dazzler along with Cabaret Headliner, those are the only two Battlecry minions in this deck. There's only 4 Battlecry minions, so there's a pretty good chance it'll get drawn off Fairy Tale Forest. And you can combo that with Puppet Master Dorian. So for example, turn 3 Fairy Tale Forest, and then only on turn 4 after you drop Dorian will you activate the location, and that will get us for sure like an extra minion, maybe an extra 1-cost Razzle-Dazzler, which would be really good. And of course we have the new legendary Caress Cabaret Star, which has different effects depending on which spell schools we play. And this is just good for kind of tempo, value, control in general. This gets us through some kind of tough board situations or gets us a little bit of extra damage. Overall, that's pretty much the idea of this deck. Play a bunch of spell schools and then Razzle-Dazzle for the final win. So I have a few games to show you guys. Hope you enjoy. Alright, this is game 1 versus Elemental Rogue. This is kind of the Lamplighter Rogue combo deck that's pretty popular. I think this might be the first game that I've ever played with this deck, so this is just the first version. And so you might see cards that do not show up on the final version. I had just kind of opted to make a few revisions, but the general idea is still there. So, going to turn 2, Drink Server is very good. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Actually, okay, so I should play Sigil of Skydiving here. That's the better play, but Drink Server is okay. Because the elemental that they just played, the one that buffs all their other elementals, very scary card. Okay, we get a drink. That's also a fel spell, the health drink. A lot of tempo coming from the opponent here. It's your Cabaret headliner, so we get some nice reduction there. I don't think I included Natural Talent in the final list of this deck, but I think it's like, it's possible you can include it if you want. But I just like, I wasn't always getting the best like card generations off of that. And I think I also replaced Skirting Death with like Incredible Value. So that was a good like, yeah, we're kind of doing okay here. Because we got those reduced cost spells. We got the Holy Spell off of Natural Talent, which is very good. We gotta trade their board in here. Here's our Fairy Tale Forest. That is our big money card, Razzle-Dazzler. I think something to note about Razzle-Dazzler is that just like as a base card, it will summon a random 5-cost minion. So every spell school that you've already cast is an additional 5-cost minion. So it's gonna be like basically the number at the bottom plus 1 is the total number of minions that Razzle-Dazzler will summon. Which is something I didn't realize until like later on. So Razzle-Dazzler will, as a 4, but it will actually, okay, now it's a 5. So it will summon 6. So that's, it will summon a full board, basically. Okay. Alright, we got both our Razzle-Dazzlers. I think we just go for this card. Gives us a full board of minions, and this is a really lucky one. Like, we got all of the best 5-cost minions off of this one. Like 2 charges, a legendary, also the Rocket Hopper is crazy. So it's usually not this good. This was like a really crazy good Razzle-Dazzler. But it's a good kind of opener for you guys to see kind of the strength of this card. Here's our Lamplighter. They're so close. If they had gotten one more Lamplighter, that would have been it for me. But I just have a massive board. Yeah. Alright. Game 2, Big Beast Hunter. This was actually kind of a longer game. But it's good to see that, like, you know, this deck does have like the gas power to power through like the late game, even with like big value decks. So it's good to see Sigil of Skydiving along with Aftershocks, because that could possibly be a turn 2, turn 3 play. If you're going up against a really aggressive deck, and they don't have a very aggressive opener here, so I think I just Go with Drink Server, play really solid. Is there natural talent? I've been getting pretty lucky. Sometimes you'll get pretty lucky off natural talent. Like I got pretty lucky off of this game. So it's a reasonable card to keep in the list if you want it. Making a bunch of token minions. We got Nightshade Tea, which is a shadow spell. Okay, I'm just gonna go with Black Rock and Roll here. I don't have a lot of minions in my deck, but like it was kind of the only play I had, so. Big dreams. Okay, things aren't too bad, honestly. There's Caress, which is very good. There's second natural talent. We get pretty lucky again, and that's our Caress, so it's a pretty good Caress. I know I have cards that will overload me, which is why I'm trying to save the Flow Rider. Okay. And I think going into the next turn, I know that their Banjosaur is going to awaken, and so I don't want to actually develop any minions on my board because that will give them a target for their Banjosaur. If they don't attack with their Banjosaur, it's literally just like a 5-5 or a 5-6, which is totally like manageable. I do have to consider cards like Bait and Switch. That would be a really tough one to deal with. And like Ice Trap. And they do get me here with an Ice Trap. And if they had Bait and Switch, like I just would have been cooked here. But luckily they don't. So I'm able to clear the board with Aftershocks. And we also have a Siren Song, okay. And I'm running out of hand space, so I just play my Flow Rider. They're going in for 12 damage, trying to end things quickly. Luckily I do have health restoration with like Baking Soda Volcano. Yeah. So yeah, honestly like natural talent. Well actually I think that was generated off of Siren Song. But you know, you find ways to like kind of stay in the game, stay in control of the board. Baking Soda Volcano is like the ultimate counter to that Draconic Delicacy card. Okay, and this is why I saved my Caress. It's going to do exactly what I need it to do here. It's a nice 12-tailed minion. Got boosted off of the black rock and roll. That's the Moonster card or something. But yeah, I think I just want to get like 12 damage to their face. That's just a lot of damage. Okay, there's a Razzle-Dazzler. They were probably running like Rye Cleaver in this deck, but I kind of want to save the Razzle-Dazzler for like a really big board. There's their Warrior Tourist. It's gonna give them some extra value there. But I really want to play Razzle-Dazzler, so I'm just gonna clear my board here as best I can. Yeah. We get a full board. So this is kind of their time to bring out all of their big minions. I do kind of have to work my way through everything, but it's not so bad. Kind of running out of time here. I probably should have just played Cabaret Headliner, but because they're so low on health, just like anything. Also, the Linessa is doubling like the Sigil of Skydiving. It is pretty nice. They set up a big board of taunts here, but the Warsong Grunt has a really nice ability that's gonna help me clear everything. Because basically once, after it destroys a minion, it can attack again. So it's gonna perfectly clear here, and we have enough for lethal. Alright, we're at game 3 versus another elemental deck. Seems like the Lamplighter elementals really kind of inspiring a lot of different deck builds. You know, you could say that. But anyways, alright. So, because I know that it's Elemental Mage, well, I don't know that yet, but I know that kind of going in. I want to make sure I have a lot of control options in my opening hand. Yeah, to deal with all these elementals. So like Baking Soda Volcano is really good. We got our Sigil of Skydiving online, so hopefully that can start to chip away at their Flame Revenant. Okay, they're playing a lot of minions, that makes things difficult. So they already have a huge tempo, which is very intimidating. And that is honestly the top deck of the entire game. I honestly don't know if I would have won this game at all if I didn't top deck Aftershocks like that. Just totally clear their board. Here we see Golganeth, which is another good control option. We got our first Razzle-Dazzler. Yeah, but they just got this huge tempo. So I have a few options here. I could coin Golganeth, or I can just go for the double malted magma. That's gonna get our fire spell online, which is nice.
Amazing.
They're just so impressed by my board control here. But this is pretty straightforward, if I'm being honest. Make our giant board. Yep. So yeah, if you get to play Razzle-Dazzle, like, that's like honestly the finishing card, the strongest card in this deck. And they do not have enough. Okay, the game goes on still. Honestly, I think like I'm just really scared of all of their lamplighters. And I just want to restore as much health as I can. Because that's a scary card, like Lamplighter, like that's 3 mana deal like 8 or 9 damage at this point. I think that's pretty much game. Ooh, excuse me. Yep. They're gonna do all this, but that's it. Alright, so we got the typical Excavate control warrior here. So we get to see this deck go up against a variety of matchups. You know, we saw the very aggressive elemental decks. Now we're seeing the control decks. Right, we're opening with Drink Server, always very nice. And they help us get our Puppet Master Dorian online, which is very nice of them. Okay, so that means we can get Fairy Tale Forest value, very nice. We do get Razzle-Dazzler, which is the big money card. Yeah, this opponent does take a while, and they literally run out of time before they can finish their play here. Okay, it's always a nice drink to see, the Shadow Spell right there. I probably should have just played Razzle-Dazzler here. I wasn't fully aware that, like, of how many like minions it would summon, basically, but that's okay. It's getting a little greedy, but I think it works out in the end. Yeah, I think the play here is to actually be a little more aggressive, but sorry, we got 3 Razzle-Dazzlers. So, you know, I'm sitting pretty comfortably. They're gaining armor as they do. I think I still want to get even more Razzle-Dazzler value. So I actually... a little bit of a misplay here. Because I could have gotten 5 minions, but I only got like... I think 3? Still kind of works out a little bit though, just because I literally have 2 more Razzle-Dazzlers. So I don't feel a lot of pressure, we can just keep going. Got our 4 mana 7/7. Okay, and then send all this damage face. They're trying their best to clear my board. But I have a lot of value in my hand. Okay, so I'm playing pretty... my play style so far has been pretty like kind of slow and value oriented. I think usually with control decks you want to try and be a little more aggressive because they have a lot of tools in their end game. Like they're almost coming back right here. But I get really lucky with the spell damage totem. I like managed to just have enough for lethal here. But yeah, you do want to try and be a little more aggressive with those control decks. We got the classic Plague Death Knight. Everyone knows this deck. I haven't really played Carefree Cookie actually. Obviously that card benefits off of having a really wide board of minions. Siren Song on turn 2 is not the best feeling, but kind of the only play here. It's like okay, at least we have a variety of spell schools. So we're gonna get a lot of value off of our Cabaret headliner. Got five spells reduced. It's very nice.
You have earned an eternity of torment.
So we got a frost spell and a holy spell at least. And we have a fire and nature spell. Sometimes you have to keep track of like your spells, the spell schools that you cast. Not as much as if like you were playing Civ though. But I'm preparing to play Razzle-Dazzle on turn 7 here, so I want to get as many spell schools in as I can before that. So I think right here, like, I can get a nature spell in and then a fire spell. And it doesn't do much for their board because they don't have anything on board right now, but the goal is to just juice up the Razzle-Dazzler as much as I can. Alright, time to Razzle-Dazzle. Okay, it's not bad. We got Grey Bow, which is very good.
Such a perfect specimen.
I'm gonna try to clear my minions around the Grey Bow. Okay, the tail end is gonna get us the other Razzle-Dazzler, which is very good. We have a pretty big life total and board advantage. Here's our other Razzle-Dazzler. It's gonna summon 5 minions. I feel pretty good about this game so far. Just trying to shove as much damage to face as possible. Going in for lethal. Yeah, they got another one of those. Alright. So I think that is going to be game. Yeah. So yeah, Razzle-Dazzler.